use of the swings. So first, your swings is nothing but it is an application programming interface. So what is it, application programming interface? Anyone? What is mean by API? You would have heard nothing but a set of classes which is already defined, which is already implemented, and the user can make use of that classes to implement his own program. That is the layman meaning of what is meant by application programming interface. Means that you already have a set of classes, and the programming person who is going to write his own program going to make use of that existing classes to implement his own program. That is the meaning of your API. Right? So Java is mostly 90% comprised of APIs. So user code is going to be only 10%. So rest all you can make use of the API, and you can implementing your own program. For an example, you are using scanner, right? Scanner class. So scanner class is also a class which is already implemented and stored inside certain package, and you're making use of that. Similarly, string tokenizer. String tokenizer is also one of the predefined classes. You're making use of that string tokenizer to break your complete string into token, and you're trying to use some tokens for your operations. So this is the exact meaning of application programming interface. So what is mean by API? API is nothing but a set of classes which is already defined and which is going to be used by the programmer, which is going to reduce the work of the programmer application. So what is mean by window based application? So using Java, you can able to develop so many different types of application. One is desktop application or window based application, or you can call it as web application, where you are going to use your browser from client side and to the server side. There you can have a communication. Even a desktop application can also use a browser for that. So then you can have a mobile application where you're using your Android applications as a mobile applications. So like that, enterprise application, like that, so many applications you can develop using your Java. So what is mean by Windows based application? For an example, if you're going to use a calculator, so you will be opening a calculator and you are trying to add two numbers. So for adding two numbers, whether you required a server or you wanted to send something from your browser, means where you're typing your Google Gmail account and all, username, password, when you click it, it will go to the server end. From the server side, it will take your inbox content and it will be come back to you in the form of the browser itself, right? So like that, when you want to add two numbers in a calculator, is it necessary for you need to have a server, or only your desktop is more than enough to do that? Implementing any type of applications, then what type of application can be implemented using swings? Only desktop applications or Windows based applications can be used. Can I implement a game using swings? Yes, you can implement a game using swings, where it is going to use only your desktop, no need to have your client. Actually build over your AWT. So they are keep saying the same statement. Your swings is built over your AWT. So you already know what is mean by AWT. So what is AWT? It's nothing but your abstract window toolkit. That only you have studied in your applet. What is abstract window toolkit? So abstract window toolkit is the initial, your buttons or your windows or your dialog boxes is used for implementing your window-based application, graphical window-based application. So now what is the problem with the AWT? So AWT is having some more problems. We will discuss that in the next slide. So we have certain problems. To overcome that problems, your swings is being used. So what is exactly the swings is consist of? Your swings is consist of set of classes where the complete classes is written using your Java. The completely everything is in Java. So as what are the advantages there for your Java is being applicable for your swings also. So it is going to use for GUI. GUI, you know, graphical user interface. What is mean by graphical user interface? When you're trying to search something in the internet, in the front sheet, it is asking you to enter your username, enter your password, then click submit. That is called as user interface. The intermediate sheet or intermediate interface is going to ask you something. From that, you're going to provide your input. Through that, your server will be acting according to the given input. So whatever, even if you take a calculator, you're pressing the button 2 plus 3, that is also called as an user interface. Your Sphinx is involved into Java from Java 1.2 version, and it is added as the Java extended version. It is not in the Java. You cannot write like import Java dot. It should be imported like Java X dot, because it is added in the extended version of your Java from Java 1.2 version onwards, right? So now what is the exact difference between your AWT and Sphinx? So AWT, first of all, AWT is nothing but your abstract window toolkit. Before Sphinx, this is used to implement your graphical user interface. So your abstract window toolkits are platform dependent. So what is mean by platform dependent? What is mean by platform? First of all, you remember what but operating system plus processor. It is not only operating system. It is not only the processor. Your platform means it is including your operating system plus the processor what you're going to use it. So whenever you're using AWT component for implementing a button, then it is completely depend on platform independent. How you're saying you're heavyweight. Okay, we are coming across so many times heavyweight, lightweight, lightweight. What does mean by heavyweight? In the sense, it is going to take more processing time, as well as it require more memory. Means the loading time will be more, the processing time will be more. It is going to occupy the memories also more. Anjali, any doubt?
No, ma'am, by mistake I did.
Please don't do this. Yes. So what is mean by heavyweight? In the sense, it requires more memory and it requires more processing also. And in turn, Sphinx is called as your lightweight. So you will come to know what is the meaning of lightweight now. So lightweight means it is going to occupy the less memory and it is going to occupy the less processing also. So that is the meaning of your Sphinx. Next, it is does not support pluggable look and feel, and Sphinx supports pluggable look and feel. What does mean by pluggable look and feel? First of all, so for example, in your mobile, if you're trying to download a new theme, right? Your mobile will be having standard themes in your mobile, but you need to have a new theme into your mobile. So you will be downloading it, installing it, and making use of your theme. Because of theme, the working style of your WhatsApp will change. Trying to have a separate or a different theme inside your mobile, which is not going to affect the working of the other applications, then it is called as look and means it is supports look and feel. Pluggable look and feel. Pluggable in the sense you can add or you can remove, right? So you can add any different button. It can be in the oval shape, 3D or 4D buttons inside your application. Because of that new button what you are trying to add it is not going to affect the working of the other working of the your button processing or it working of the other applications. Nothing is going to be affected. But when you are trying to use AWT is not pluggable look and feel. Means if you install new theme, going to provide less component. So as we know, your AWT is having text field, your button, your label, but it doesn't have any radio button or a combo box, like kind of things is not available using your AWT. But your Sphinx is going to support so many components. You can use table, scroll pen, you can use list, and you can use tree structures. So many different components is going to be involved in your Sphinx. And coming to the main part over here, AWT does not support MVC, model view controller. So I'll just draw and show you here what is mean by source and what is mean by listener. So you already know what is mean by source and what is mean by listener. I think so. So can anyone tell me what is mean by source? Source can be a button. Source can be a label. So anything, it can be a button or it can be a label. So if I'm taking a button, so this is a source. So only button or label should be a source. No, you can set a timer also. If you set a timer after 15 minutes, so you have to trigger a event. Like that also you can set. So anything which is going to trigger a event, which is going to called as a source. So for an example, to easier understanding, I'm taking source as a button. So now source is a button. So now this button can be of any form. As I told you, it can be different pluggable buttons. You can have 3-dimensional button, 4-dimensional buttons, or you can have 2-dimensional button. The button can be in the round form or the oval form, your triangle form, any kind of things. So your source is here. So your source can be pluggable also. Means like your application or your system or the current version is not supporting it is not having 3-dimensional button. You can download 3-dimensional button and add it to your program and make use of that 3-dimensional button inside your program. That is the meaning of pluggable. So if I add 3-dimensional button in my system, if I go to my friend's system who is having a different operating system with different processor, whether my 3-dimensional button looking will change? 100% no, if you are using swings. Because the advantage of swings is that the look and feel will remains constant with any platform, because it is platform independent. The swings completely, whatever you are going to use is completely platform independent. So you don't want to change that look of the button when you're moving from one platform to the another platform. Who will take care of all these things? You don't want to worry. JVM will take care of all these things. Right. So once you have given the source, now we are keep telling listener. What is mean by that listener? So when I click the button, if anything is going to happen, usually will not happen, because your listener need to be there. Listener is nothing but a person who is going to respond for your changes in your source. If you click, that is a change in the source. So who is going to respond for the change? I need to have a listener. Without listener, can a source alone do the changes? No, you can't. Because your Java, we have written MVC, that is a delegate model. So delegate model means you're giving your responsibility to somebody else. Instead of me, you do this work. That is called as a delegation of your work. So what your source is going to do, source is telling that I will be responsible for changing the event. Means I will click, I will drag, I will press, I will type something. But what is the reaction is to be taken care by the listener. So what is exactly here in the listener? Listener is having a Java code. The completely code is written in your listener part. So here, what is there? Here Java code is there. So what this Java code will do? It will react to the operations, whatever your source is trying to do. If your source is clicking, and once it is clicking, it need to display that a button is clicked, or a background image have to pop up, or it should tell some other information to the user. That is done using your listener Java code. So your source is here. Source is also written using Java only, but it is already predefined. It is already there in the classes, and you are going to make use of that. But this Java code, whatever listener code is there, that is not predefined. You are going to write your code. If button is clicked, I want to set my background image. Yes, write the Java code to set the background image. Next, if a button is clicked, I wanted to give an information, your button is pressed. Then you write the Java code where you're going to say the button is pressed. So that is the use of your listener. So your source will generate the event. According to generation of event, your listener will react. So who should write that listener code? Your listener code should be written by the user who is going to develop that particular project. So now source is there, a listener is there. Then how they can communicate? How many listeners are there? What type of listener button should act? So usually whenever a source is there, it have to register itself to the listener. How many listeners can be there? Any number of listeners it can register, but there is a type. If button is there, it will be going to generate action listener, item change listener, like that. There are a set of listener which will be belongs to button. There will be a set of listeners who will be belongs to a text box, who a set of listener who will be belongs to a label. So like that, you will be having a set of listener. All the listeners can be involved in a single program, or only one is sufficient, you can involve. So first, if a source did some changes, it need to be reacted by your listener. Then the first step, your source should register the listener. So if it is registered the listener, if button is clicked, this code will get activated. So when this code will get activated, if any state changes or any event occur. So what is mean by event? Event can be clicking a button or dragging a mouse over some visible screen area, or you can type something onto the text box. All these things are event changes. Even a timer, you can set a timer. After 10 minutes an alarm will be comes. Because of that alarm, your Java code will react. So like that, you can have different types of events. So whenever an event occur or a state changes, your Java code will get reacted. So whenever an event occur or a state change, so your Java code will, what your Java code will do, your Java code will respond. What is a respond? If I click the button, I need my background to be set. So this is going to be done as a response. Whether it is should be response to the button, no need. I am trying to change the background of that frame or of that window. I'm not going to change the button style. Can I change the button style? Yes. You can change the button style, you can change the window style, anything you can do, but that code have to be written inside your listener part. Who have to write that? Your programmer, the user who is going to develop that particular desktop application have to write that Java code, right? So again, I'll repeat it. We have source and a listener. Source is nothing but it can be a button, or it can be a label, or it can be a text box, anything. So first it have to be, whether it is written in Java, yes, it is written in Java. Already it is there in Java. You can just make use of that existing code. Now, what is listener? Listener code is also there. Listener is also there. Listener is already loaded into your Java. But how to react to the buttons event? What the reaction of this text event? That code have to be written by the programmer of that particular application development only. So now, if the source need to have a listener, then the first step, the source should register its listener. It can be action listener, it can be item listener, any type of listener can be that. So first it have to register that. So when this Java code will get activated, whenever the button gets clicked, or it is from a pressed state to unpressed state, or unpressed state to pressed state, when the state is changes from one state to another state, this Java code will start reacting, and the reaction will be in the form of response, right? Is this is clear? So your model is nothing but kind of a button or a data you just take model. And what is view? So view is nothing but how it is presented. View is nothing but the presentation of that particular button, or the presentation of some label or the text boxes. So this is your view. And what is controller? Controller is going to be the interface between your view and the model, who is responsible for making the changes, like your control unit in your CPU. Even whatever processor can do, whatever processor wants to do, your controller should be involved. CPU control unit should be involved to do that. It should instruct that particular CPU to do that operation. So you need to have a controller unit for everything. Similarly, here also the controller is there. So model is nothing but a data. A view is nothing but how the data is presented, and controller is nothing but if any state changes, how the data should react or respond, and how the data should change. For example, if you just imagine model as your button, So when I click the button, that information will be sent to the viewer, and the viewer, that is state change information, will be sent to the viewer, and in turn the viewer will send that information to the controller to do the changes. Once the button is pressed, change your background of that particular frame, that will be sent to the controller, and controller in turn do the response back to the model. That is maybe a frame, or it can be change of the button color or change of the background color, anything. So this is the responsibility of the MVC. So your M model is nothing but the data who is going to talk to your view by saying there is a change in the state. So that state change information will be given to the controller to change the background of the image. Once the background of the image is given, the changes is going to be applicable back to the particular window or a frame. So this is called as MVC. Now, which is model here? Your source is called as your model. Your view and controller together, is going to act as your listener. Is it clear? So now here, your model is nothing but your source, right? And your view and controller together is called as your listener. So now what is the use of your model? It will click, it will change the state, it will do all the operation. But according to that operation, who is going to do the reaction? Your view and controller will take care of the reaction, because this view and controller is nothing but the listener. So this is mean by MVC model, delegation model. What is delegation model? If button is clicked, the same particular person only who should be responsible for doing the changes also. But in your swings, it is not going to be the same person. I have a separate person to do that. Why I need to have a separate person to do that? Now it comes to the pluggable look and feel. Whenever I'm trying to change my design, whenever I try to change the appearance of my button, if this button appearance and the responsible of that button appearance is clubbed together, it is single person, then whenever I'm trying to change a new button or a new source, everything have to be changed. If I install a theme, then according to the theme, the way of using of your WhatsApp will change, because there is only one person who is going to take care of all these operations. But when you're trying to have a delegate model, the different types of button you can use it, or different types of source you can use it, which is not going to affect the way of the reaction. The Java code is not going to get affected, because that is completely taken care by the separate person. That is why your swings achieves your pluggable look and feel, as well as it is happening with the delegate event model. Two features. So I think I have discussed about these two features. One is lightweight component, and it is having look and feel. So lightweight component in the sense, because it is going to take entirely less memory space, and it is going to occupy less processing, and it is going to be the same throughout all the platform. It is not going to be platform dependent. And what is look and feel? If whatever plugin, if you wanted to add into your application, because of that new add-in plugin, your code is not going to be affected. And that look and feel is completely it is not dependent onto the platform, it is completely independent to the platform. That are the two features of your swings. Now this also we discussed, I think. So MVC is clear. So what is MVC? Model view controller. Model view controller. So model is nothing but your source, and view controller is nothing but your listener, which is completely different. Means which is completely different from the look, and it is completely different from how it is going to react it. So there is no need to have any disturbance for that. So now comes to the major part over here, components and containers. So in this part, I will discuss about your hierarchy also. So what is mean by component and what is mean by a container? So component can be a button, component can be a label, or component can be a text box, or component can be an image, anything. So that is all called as your component. And what is mean by a container? Container is nothing but the place or the person who is going to hold your button. So in your Windows, you can see there is a menu button, home button, then insert button. All these buttons are there. So these buttons are placed onto a window. That is called as your container. Container is nothing but the person or a place which is going to hold, the components. That is called as your container. So we have two different types of containers. One is called as top level container and another one is called as lightweight container. So what is top level container? We have certain top level containers are called as JFrame, JApplet, JWindow, JDialog. I'll just go to that hierarchy. So you can see here, you can have JWindow, JFrame, JDialog, JApplet. So everywhere it is J, 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 J. Why it is because J? Because I'm saying these components are completely written using Java, or called as lightweight components. So before JFrame, I have a frame, I have a dialog, but it is not having any J along with that. It means that it is a AWT component, which is our heavyweight components, which is completely takes more time and more resources also. So wherever you see J applet, J button, J panel, J list, all these things are swings component, which is completely written using your Java, which is lightweight. Again, I'm saying lightweight is in the sense it is going to take less amount of memory and it is going to take less time for processing also. So that is the meaning of J. So now I have four different types of top level containers. So what is the top level containers? As I told you, it is a container where you can place the other components over to that. That is called as top level container. Okay. So how many top level containers are there? JWindow, JFrame, JDialog, JApplet, even JPanel will be taken as lightweight container. So what is the difference of all this container? Why I wanted to have so many container? If one container is enough, it's more than sufficient for me. But why I need to have so many containers as a top level container? Because there is a difference between this. What is the use of JWindow? When you're using JWindow, it doesn't have any title bar, it doesn't have any border, it doesn't have any menu. It will be like an screen. A screen is placed at the back end. It doesn't have any representation of title bar. It won't have any close button, minimize button, maximize button and all. And it doesn't have any border also. That is when you're using your Windows. And when you're using a dialog box, what is dialog box? You will be knowing it. When you're trying to install some application, some window will be pop up and it will be asking whether you want to continue or you want to skip, or whether you wanted to install, or like that. A small window will be pop up and it will be asking you that option. Without answering that particular dialog box, you cannot go back to the previous window. Have you experienced that? Yes. So that is called as a dialog box. Means without answering that particular window, you cannot go for the previous window. So that type of an windows you need, then you have to use your J dialog box. Then what is mean by frame? Frame is nothing but it is going to have a title bar, menu bar, border. Even you can add any component over to that. So everything you can do using your JFrame. So mostly in our application, we will be using a JFrame because JFrame is having a title bar, JFrame is having a border, JFrame is having a menu bar also. You can use everything inside your JFrame. Then what is JApplet? So if your application is going to use a browser, then you can use your JApplet. So JApplet is similar to your JFrame only. JFrame is also having title bar, menu bar, and your borders. Even Applet is also having everything. So when you want to use JFrame, if your application is like a calculator application, you no need to have a browser. Browser in the sense like where you're typing your Gmail account, or where you're trying to search some videos, YouTube videos like that. That is called as your browser. Your Chrome, your Firefox, all that called as your browser. So through your browser, you want your application to be implemented, then you can use your JApplet. No, I don't want to use any browser. It is a normal calculator desktop application. Then you can more than enough, you can go for your JFrame. Both the JFrame and JApplet is having the same features only, but the usage where you're going to use it will be different. That's it. And the lightweight container, we are going to call it as JPanel. So JPanel, similarly, it doesn't have any title. It doesn't have any menu bar. But what is the use of JPanel? If I'm having a window, a big window, inside the big window, I want to divide it into two segments or three different windows. Then you can use a panel. I have to divide my window for one part is used for buttons. Another complete part I wanted to use a labels. Another complete part I'm going to use a some combo box or radio button. Then I can go for your J panel. It is a lightweight container. It is a lightweight container which will be placed over to the another container. So now there are four top level containers. One is your J window, J frame, J dialog, J applet. So J window doesn't have any border, no title, no menu bar. But your J dialog box having everything, but it's like a pop-up dialog box which will be appear, and without answering that you cannot go back to the previous type of an window. That is the dialog box. J frame, it is having a border, it is having a title, it is having a menu bar also. So if you want to use any desktop application, you can go for your JFrame. Applet is also having the same features only, but when you're trying to use a browser in your desktop application, then you can use your applet. And panel is called as your lightweight container to divide your container, to divide your JFrame into some 2-3 sections. Each section I'm going to use for keeping a button. One section is only for images. One section is only for combo box. Like that, if I want to segregate my container, then I can use my J panel. So these are called as containers, right? So now, what is there inside the container? Inside the container, I have some pane, P-A-N-E-S, panes. So what is mean by panes? Panes is nothing but a sheet, a type of a sheet. One sheet is after the another sheet. One sheet is after the another sheet. Like that, sheet, arranging of sheets is called as panes. So one pane is nothing but one sheet. So there are three different types of sheets. One is glass pane, layered pane, content pane. So what is mean by this glass pane or layered pane or content pane? I'll just tell you. And you have your minimize, maximize, close button. This is called as your top level container. That is a frame, or it can be a applet, right? So now inside this, can you see file menu, design, mailing, all these things is one layer of menu. And down you can see pictures, shapes, smart art, all this another level of or another layer of menu. So how many layers is here? First I have a top container. Inside that I have one layer of home, menu, all these things. Inside that, after that I have another layer of some table, pictures, menu. So how many layers is there here? Three layers are there. First layer is the top level container. Over to the top level container, I have a layered pane. The first layered pane is like using insert, home, design, layout. The second layered pane is having pictures, shapes, charts, screenshot, etc. So this is called as layered pane. And wherever I'm trying to do some operation, wherever I'm trying to type, or wherever I'm trying to place these buttons, all these things are called as content pane. So without content pane, you cannot do any, or you cannot place any component, because without this writing area, you cannot write anything. It will be blank. So this outer layer, this is wherever you're seeing minimize, maximize, close button is called as top level container. And over to the top level container, you can have a layered pane. This is top level pane, and this is called as layered pane. Inside that layered pane, you can have a content pane. Now, what is glass pane? By default, all the windows will be having a glass pane. It is by default hidden. What is glass pane? If I move my cursor here, in your applet example, you would have seen, you can get the X and Y position of your cursor wherever you're moving. You remember that example? Containers. So we have two types of containers. One is top level container and another one is lightweight container. So top level container, as I told you, JFrame, JApplet, JWindow, JDialog box. And your lightweight container is a panel. Mostly it is panel because we can divide your frame into a number of segments. And all the top level containers will be having a pane. Pane is nothing but the sheets. You can have any number of sheets arranged to that top level container. So majorly, what is the three different sheets? One is the layered pane, another one is your content pane, another one is glass pane. So if you have a top level container, over to the top level container, you can place the layered pane, that is your menu bar. Next, you can place your content pane, where you can place the component or where you can type, where you can do the operations. And over to all these panes, you have to place your glass pane, which is used for finding the movement of your mouse pointers. So this is added as the extended version of your Java. So you cannot add normal import Java dot swing. It should be added as import Java X dot swings. So you will be having so many swings packages which will be used for implementing your application.